everybody. Welcome to the Armchair Sports Talk Show. And it's just me, Dana, and Chris. And Chris.
Yes.
As you see, no one else is here because everyone I asked to join me today all bailed. And Roger is on vacation. Chris, where's Roger at?
He is in Scotland this week and next week, I believe. He is taking a vacation with his lovely wife, and as far as I can tell, they're having a good time. I was going to show some pictures for everyone.
It does look like they're having a really great time.
It does.
I mean, not as much fun as we're having right here in
No.
Valdosta, Georgia, but...
Well, of course not. No, because, I mean, the beautiful weather here, and as you can see, it's probably a little foggy over there.
Yeah, just make it seem like it's really bad. Make us feel better here.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look a bit cloudy, but...
It's a bit cloudy over there.
Everything I've seen, though, they're having a great time.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they are. And this is the castle they went and visited, which is really neat.
Mm-hmm. So pretty.
That is really cool. And I think it's replaying now.
So it's just us for 2 weeks, and then he's gone again. So really, it's just us for at least 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks. Yeah.
8 weeks.
He's gonna. Well, he said he's gonna try and join us next week.
Okay.
Via Zoom. So I will be setting that up and getting that ready to go, and
Fun.
that should be interesting.
More work.
Well, of course. Like I don't have enough, but that's quite all right.
It's okay. You like staying busy.
I do, and it's fun and it's interesting and it's good stuff.
Well, so Roger mentioned last week that you were not feeling well.
Yeah.
And are you everything fine? Okay with that now?
Yeah. As far as I can tell, I went to the. I haven't seen the other doctor yet that I'm supposed to go see. They're supposed to set an appointment up for me, so I'm waiting to hear back on that and then do some tests and things like that to make sure that I'm perfectly okay. But as far as we can tell right now, I haven't had any more episodes or issues, so.
Okay, well, good. You look much better today, so.
I'm feeling better. I think I got some sleep last night, maybe.
Okay.
I don't get much sleep ever usually.
Because you have like 15,000 jobs.
Yes.
Just so if you guys don't know, he actually runs a website business called Shadow Fox Designs. Is that correct?
That's right.
So if you need any design business for your websites, what else do you do? Everything, right?
Yeah, I can even do print design, so business cards and flyers and postcards, things like that.
And who doesn't need that?
Yeah, everybody that I know of.
Yeah. Well, and postcards, I like sending out like thank you cards and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you do those too?
No, most of mine are digital, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I do send them out, but they're digital. Let me put it that way.
Well, that's the new modern thing, though. So.
It is, yeah. And
So really, go see Chris for all your needs.
yeah, website needs.
Yeah.
And business.
Unless you're Roger that sees you for everything.
Yeah. No, right now the only recording and editing job that I have is this one, which is good. This is the only one that I can do right now. Takes up a lot of my time, but no, my heart's really towards small businesses specifically, and helping them out to get started and get going, and whatever kind of business needs they need as far as online needs go. Connect their website up to different services, banking and e-commerce type stuff, that kind of thing. So
Oh, okay.
anything I can do to help.
Go see Chris.
Yeah.
Shadow Fox Designs.
Yeah.
There you go. So what's been going on this week? I mean, it's only Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday.
It's been a long week.
It has already, actually. Although I usually start my day around 4 o'clock. So.
Okay, I'll just shut up over here and I'm just gonna go back up here. Chris, you go back over there. No, but it seems like it's been a long week, and I think everybody's talking about, and we're gonna mention it too, the Will Smith Chris Rock slap.
Yes. What in the world happened? I mean, I keep hearing different stories about that. Like, some people are saying, "No, that's on stage," but I mean, it was on stage, and they are actors.
I mean, but it could have been staged. It could have been fake. I don't know. I know that Well, I mean, Chris Rock handled it better than I would have handled it. And I don't think Will Smith was correct in the whole situation. Defending your wife is one thing, but that's a whole nother level of, I think the way he handled it was wrong. But that's just me.
Yeah, there are a lot better ways to handle it. I understand that, people get upset and want to lash out, especially when it comes to someone you love. I get that, but there are other ways to handle it besides violence.
Well, as I tell my 10-year-old who is 10, use your words and think about something before you do it, because once you do it, you can't take it back.
That's right.
So you really need to kind of control your emotions.
For sure. Which, my wife tells me that I have no emotions. I think it's just that I contain them.
Like I said, you really would make those great videos for the sound stuff and the put you to sleep. I mean, yes, because his voice truly is the most level, perfect voice.
Although some would call it dull.
No, I think it's great.
I think my wife compared me once to the guy that does the Bueller. You remember that from way back in the day.
Well, as someone who has the opposite problem, because I feel like my voice goes from normal to, oh my gosh, no way, super fast. So I appreciate your voice. It's always very much the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty even keel most of the time.
Yeah, even your laugh is subdued and nice, and mine's like a wild donkey. So, so there you go.
Huh? Yeah. No.
Yeah. Truly, I know. No, because in my other job, my office is all the way to the back, the very back dungeon spot. And if I'm laughing, which is pretty much every day, all day, they can hear me all the way up front.
I think it's nice. I think it's infectious. My wife has one of those laughs that is very distinct and very loud. But I think it's really cool because you know that you're happy,
Well, I mean, I am, but still, does everybody need to I mean, well, I do love those dad jokes, so I will occasionally start trolling the internet for more and then start, cracking myself about it.
Dad jokes are really good. I like those a lot. Although my kids, don't appreciate them as much as they used to. My daughter still laughs at them.
Well, that's good.
She's 10 as well, and so she at least still laughs at them. My son, 14, his response...
Well, mine's response is, that's lame, Mom.
Oh, my goodness. Thanks. You're calling me old. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's like, you're not old. You're only 20. Well, he's thoughtful that way. Yeah. But then he'll be like, I'm not trying to be rude, but whenever he says that, I'm like, you're about to be rude. You're about to be rude. Where are we going?
My son too. He does that. I don't mean to be rude, or when we're having an argument, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just trying to discuss. And then he'll get very passionate about his points, and I say, okay, until you can be a little less passionate and not yell at me, we're going to discuss this later. Most of the time he's okay with that, and he goes on and does his own thing.
Interesting.
And we come back to it.
Yeah.
As Roger says, we circle back.
Circle back, yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's cool, though. Yeah, my son is a lot like me.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm curious to see how he turns out later in life. What he'll be like.
It is fun watching them develop their personalities. My daughter's a jokester, and she's fun-loving, and she likes being outdoors, which is not like me at all. I'm more of an indoors type person. So is my son. He's programming now.
Of course he is, because that's...
Of course he is.
Of course.
Right. He's designing his own games, and that's what he wants to do, is be a video game designer and own his own business doing small video games, he says.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. Well, he's got the person to teach him along the way, so... Well,
he's in a kind of a different bracket than I am, because mine's web design, and so we use different types of programming in that. But the basics of programming can still apply. So we can still talk some.
You know, when I hear programming, I hear like the Charlie Brown's teacher going, wonk, wonk, wonk.
See, that's my voice doing that.
Like, that's literally because I'm like, I have no idea of any of that. None whatsoever. I mean, it's really cool. And I'm really inspired by what you can do because I saw some of your stuff today and it's amazing, but I'm not that person.
Well, I'm really inspired by you because I couldn't go out there and just sell to people. I'm not that kind of person. I can sell, but my kind of sales is like you come to me and then you need something. I can sell you on what you need, you know, but being able to go out there and talk to somebody and sell them on something that they may or may not need that's beyond me.
It's not that bad.
No?
Yeah, you just meet new people all the time. It's nice because it's people you haven't actually made friends with yet.
Oh, yeah, I'm not great at that either.
Shut up. No, it's not bad. I love my job.
That's great.
So what else? We got the Will Smith. I mean, and what's your take on that? I mean, do you think it's fake? I think you think it's fake.
It's one of those things. I haven't really looked into it a whole lot, but I'm just like, it's just one more thing to occupy your time with, I guess.
Distract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. To some degree, I think it was faked. I mean, I don't know. There again, I couldn't put myself in his shoes because I've never been in his shoes like that. So I couldn't get up on stage and like hit somebody though.
Yeah.
You know? I might have strong words with someone though.
Strong words.
Yeah. That's just my personality.
Yeah. I don't know if I would actually walk up to the stage and... I mean, I've often thought of smacking a lot of people out there, but... Who hasn't?
What was that you said earlier?
What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Yeah.
Smack!
Smack.
But still...
That was like, yeah. I saw a T-shirt once that had a bunny on it and said that, what did it say? I'm gonna high five your face. Something like that.
That's basically what he did. He just high-fived the face.
He high-fived.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just a little love tap. No big
A
deal.
little love tap.
Yeah.
You could feel the love in that moment, I'm sure.
I mean, but to me, like, the slap is just... It's like such a... Like, I don't know. For a guy to slap another guy...
To me, that's more drama.
Yes.
Than
A
just
punch.
go out and deck
Yes. Yes.
I mean, to go up there and deck somebody,
That's you're mad.
Means business.
That's you're mad, and hey, I'm not putting up with it anymore.
Yeah.
But a slap. I mean, I don't want to get slapped. But don't get me wrong.
Either, especially full on hand.
No, because his hands look really big.
It's huge.
Yeah, I don't.
Big.
I mean, Chris Rock's a little guy too, Lou.
He is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it didn't feel good.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it didn't. I'm sure it did not feel good. And you know what? No matter what, you're talking about it. So we're talking about it. They're talking about the Oscars. They're talking about the whole thing. And who was really talking about the Oscars in forever? I didn't even know they were even going on until this. So I think like most people in the world, we had no idea they were actually happening until...
No, I know, because I don't really know anyone that has regular cable TV anymore.
I know.
Except for, like, my friend's grandparents.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it.
But... And I hadn't even seen anything. A lot of times I'll get things on like YouTube and commercials on YouTube or something. And I have watched a lot of the Ricky Gervais, his intros and stuff to the what are they?
Oscars?
The Oscars.
Uh-huh. See, we don't even know what they even are.
Yeah, I don't know. Emmys, Grammys.
We're so disconnected from like from Hollywood.
I'm telling you. So focused on business, helping people.
That's all we do.
That's my thing.
And I help people in a different way. I just help them with billboards, online sales.
Well, and I mean, still, that's helping businesses to sell more. So you are helping someone, and that's the way I look at it. Is because a lot of times, especially these small businesses, one, they don't have the time most of the time because they're trying to run their business, and the other thing is, there's so much out there online that you can connect and make work together to do things. And a lot of people just don't know all the ins and outs of it. And I don't even know all the ins and outs of it, but I keep abreast of all the things that are going on. And so that way I can help people to, with their social media or with their website, connecting their website to their social media, being able to connect their banking stuff to their website, to their social media, to their, so on and so forth. Anyway, I could talk about that all day. I digress.
But yeah, I think without cable, you really kind of miss a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't miss because I don't watch the news, as we've clearly seen lately. I don't watch the news. I know we're on a sports show, but I'll go to live games, but I don't really watch games on TV unless I'm in a sports bar.
Well, as everyone knows, I'm not a sports person at all. So.
Exactly. So Roger's left us here to talk about whatever.
Watching esports sometimes, but I'm not really. I don't know all about it.
What is esports? What is that?
Esports. Like they have tournaments like all over the world, but the big ones are like in Germany and like in the Asian area, so Singapore, those kind of places. But they play major games, so like I can't think of anything off the top of my head at the moment. Some that your son has probably played. Golly, World of Warcraft is one.
Okay. Yeah.
That. They have tournaments on that. They have tournaments on some of the first-person shooters.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it right now for the life of me. But those first-person shooters, Counter-Strike, I think they have tournaments on that. They have tournaments on all kinds of games.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't get a chance to watch them too often. Back when they first started having esports type of stuff, big thing was like World of Warcraft and things of that nature. So that's what I watched. But most of my gaming lately, I have watched YouTubers playing games that I would like to play.
Okay, that's all my son watches. Like people playing a game, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Right? But he loves it.
For me, it's to get an idea of what I might like to play.
No, he just likes watching this whole other person play a game, or watching the family go on vacation. He's obsessed with watching families on YouTube go on vacation.
My daughters too, yeah. That I don't understand.
I don't understand.
Or the ones that stay at home and they play games like the ones that do the Hello Neighbor.
Yes. I don't get that either.
But.
And then I'm kind of jealous. I'm a little jealous now that, like he's watching that. He's like, they have like 3 million views and they have this and they have that. And I'm like, huh.
That's nice.
That's nice. And look at their house. Huh. It's lovely.
Well, overnight, probably, I think, I don't know, my son came to me the other day and it's like, she shouldn't be watching that. It's really just trash for your mind. Teenagers. But I don't disagree. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I can't speak into another person's life because I don't know what their life is like, But
I go back and forth, but like right now, my son has no electronics because they've been taken away from him. Yes. We go back and forth with this, like no electronics, and and so he's in timeout with electronics right now, which is he's having to redo his life, and he's like, I hate you, I hate my life, I can't have no contact with my friends. Oh, yeah. But he's having to actually make his own stuff. Like he's having to make his comic books and all, and draw and actually do things like that and build Legos and go old school, what he had to do before he got electronics. Yeah. And he's done so much better as far as like even behavior wise.
That's good. Our daughter usually does better when we take stuff away from her. Like I said, our son, he's a teenager and we haven't had to take things away from him in a while. He's gotten to a point now where it's like, hey, you got your choice to do. Okay. He'll go and do them, and then he'll go back to doing whatever he's doing. We don't really have any problem. Because when he was a little younger, we would take electronics away, and oh my God. it was the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean,
End of the world.
I don't know how yours was, but, mine will be like throw down and then beg and beg and beg. And I'm like, was that ever this bad to my parents? Was that ever this person? I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. I mean, my memory and their memory are a little bit different as far as how I was as a child.
In your memory, you couldn't do anything wrong.
Oh, no, I was a hellion. But I don't remember being like that. I was more like the sneaky one.
Yeah.
But he is just like flat out just, it's just a lot. He'll just beg and beg. And then he'll walk away for 5 minutes, come back and beg some more. And it's a lot.
Yeah, our son would do that too. So, and I think your son and our son are a bit
Similar,
alike
yeah.
in some ways, So, yeah. What's helped out with us is the fact that he and I are enough alike that I can speak to him logically and come to him on a logical, playing field, and we can kind of logic out and reason out things. So, like, why do you need to do this? Because you need to contribute to society. That's why. Because if no one was helping to contribute to society,
it'd fall apart.
I mean, maybe not fall apart, but yeah, it wouldn't be. We wouldn't be at the level technologically where we are today if people didn't contribute in society and help out and do things the right way. So
this has gotten into with kids or anything, but speaking of society, and I just want to get your take on this because this is my big pet peeve. When you're grocery shopping or at Target or Walmart and somebody has their cart and they don't put it back at the cart return, what's your stance on that?
Yeah, I don't see how it's hard to put it back in the cart return.
Put it back.
I mean, I can understand. There's certain circumstances, like if you have a small kid and
I'll give you a
they
pass.
fell asleep or something, and you want to put them in the car.
But if your two legs are fully working, and you decide to just leave it in this empty parking spot because you're too lazy to walk the 5 paces down to put it where it belongs.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I can't. I'm like, I can feel my anger just bubbling up.
I don't really get angry anymore.
I do. I get so because
I just go and move it.
I just can't stand. I'm like, you're making somebody else's job so much harder because you won't put it back where it belongs.
Yeah.
I don't know. That I was at Target the other day and I saw like a person just leave their cart. Just leave it right. I'm like, really? Why would you do that?
Speaking of Target, I saw this, I think it was YouTube or TikTok video, and it was the dads of Target. Have you ever seen that? It's hilarious. These guys, they're talking about it like it's some kind of a group that they all ended up joining, and, or the husbands of Target, that's what it was. And, when I first started coming here, and then we met up, and now we just all get together, and, we have a good time, we grill out, stuff like that at Target.
That's about the truth, though. Because you walk into Target for, like, cat litter, and you leave there with, like, a cart full of stuff, and before you know it, you're like, I was only spent $12, now I spent $412.
Yeah, I don't really have that problem, but...
You're a guy.
Usually when I go into a store... Now, honestly, I like shopping, but I won't buy a lot, usually. But I like going into a store and just browsing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could spend... Well, depending on the store, first of all. Electronics store, you might as well just hang it up. You can go on somewhere else and find somewhere else. A bookstore, you can hang it up. Go find a seat somewhere. Because I'm going to...
You're settling in for a little while.
I'll be there a while. Why do you think they have coffee shops and bookstores?
Right, because...
For me. But I love coffee, too. Which I could talk about coffee all day, too. I really like coffee.
I could really go for a coffee. I should have brought us one before I came in today.
You really should have.
Next week, I'll be more thoughtful. I'll call you ahead of time and see what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Roger can be jealous of our coffee.
Yeah, while he's in Scotland.
Be jealous of whatever he has.
Some sort of pint of something.
Yeah.
I could just bring his pints. We could have Irish coffee next week.
Oh, that would be awesome. Like truly Irish?
Yeah, truly Irish, yeah.
That'd be
why
awesome.
not?
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not. I'll make it happen next week for us.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Next week it is.
Did you say you had you had looked something up about sports, like what was going on this week?
I had looked it up, but I mean, clearly I don't remember any of it besides,
I completely understand.
I looked it up. I was trying to do Roger proud. I was like, okay, I'm going to look up some info. And it was like basketball and
Basketball. What's going on with basketball? Not a clue.
I mean, it said it was March Madness,
still
but
March Madness,
I'm not sure exactly what all was going on. I saw a little bit and I retained nothing. But I made the point of looking it up and I was going to print it off, but the printer wasn't printing it off. So then I was going to have to write it down.
Fortnite. That was the name of one of the games I was trying to think of.
That is the one that he plays the most is Fortnite.
Is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they actually have tournaments. And
Oh, he would love
people
that.
win like thousands of dollars.
He would love that.
There are actually teams that they will get sponsored. I was looking it up a couple of years ago for my son because I thought he might have been interested in something like that.
Mm-hmm.
These kids are making like $60,000 a year, and their apartment's paid for, their food is paid for, the whole 9 yards. I don't know if it's that game specifically, but I know there are games that the sponsors will pay for you to have a place to live and, everything.
We're doing life all wrong.
Good.
We're doing life completely wrong here. I mean, you've got is it OnlyFans? Showing feet and whatever else?
Nothing about
I don't either, but I had a discussion at work the other day we're talking about people doing, I think it's OnlyFans. I don't know because I don't know for sure what might be OnlyFans, whatever. How they're doing feet pics and other stuff on there. And
feet pics?
Feet
pics.
Pictures.
Got you.
Yes.
I was wondering what
Pictures of your feet or hands, elbows. I've got some really pointy elbows in case you're interested in elbows.
Wow. People are into some
Weird.
stuff.
So I was saying, well, I mean, I have some interesting elbows. Maybe that might get somebody like, hey, let me have a picture of your elbow. I know. Who knows? I'm very subconscious about them a little bit, but.
What, about your elbows?
I was, because did you see how pointed they are?
Mine are pointed.
Well, okay, so when I was
smooth. I've been putting
mine are
cream
smooth
on
too. So no need to have dry elbows.
No, not at all. No, I actually use what's that cannabis lotion.
Ah,
It works out really nice.
does it?
Yeah, it really does. Hasn't really helped my hands feel better,
But your elbows are so smooth.
but apparently it's because of my neck why my hands still
Oh, yeah.
have issues.
So we both could have our elbow pics on OnlyFans, and that could be our extra income.
The elbows.
The elbows. Yes, the sexiest part of the body, the elbow.
The elbow. I don't know about that.
I don't know what people would want to see, but maybe my elbow might work. But we had this discussion about like just making extra money or whatever, and I'm not doing OnlyFans, but I made a joke about elbows.
I watch things on how to make money, but my things are like digitally, which I guess only
that would be digitally, yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to put a profile on there.
No, like I don't want people to see my face or anything. No, there's.
And I'm not trying to degrade the people that use it.
No, but
but
first off, I'm the same person that falls down in Target, and we clearly don't want me on anything that involves me having to do anything extra.
Falling could be somebody's thing too. I mean, you could take pictures of yourself falling.
I would probably make a lot of money off of that because I know it's funny. Like I will laugh. I fell it. I think I told you guys I fell at TJ Maxx one day.
Good grief.
I was wearing heels. It was raining. It was funny. I laughed about it.
Yeah, I fall every time I wear heels too.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes in the rain when you're walking. It's wet. I fall, and I just laugh, like
Well, that's what you can do. I mean, it doesn't do any good to cry.
No, and who's
really.
gonna? At least if you're laughing, I mean, everybody kind of like breathes a little, oh, okay.
At least they're still alive.
Yeah, and people think it's funny too. They're gonna laugh at you, so you might as well laugh with them, and I'll make a joke of it later.
Sure.
No big deal.
It's always good to be able to make fun of yourself.
Yeah, and I'm really good at that. So I would tell you a story. It's probably not gonna work on the show, but.
Oh, go for it. We've got nothing.
I know. We're just wasting time here. So many years ago, when I first moved here, I was selling radio, and I had went to this one location, kind of remote, and I had met this older gentleman who worked there, And he kept telling me to come back in and talk about like radio and, and of course, I'm trying to make a sale. So I go back in, and one day I go back in and I'm wearing a dress, which I usually always wear dresses, but I was wearing a dress this day. And he was like, I can't remember his name, but he was like, "Oh, you look so lovely, Dana." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And he goes, "You look so womanly." And he's giving me a hug and said, "Thank you." He's giving me a hug and said that. And I mean, I'm like, as opposed to like, what do I normally look like? I am a woman, but okay. And I think I may have actually said that. And so he's giving me a hug, which he's an older man. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, it's like somebody's your grandpa's age. So you think nothing about it, right? And while he's giving me the hug, I can feel him smelling my neck. And it's still, I'm like, okay, it went from like normal to a little creepy to, okay, I'm trying to ease out the hug. And he's like, "You just look so womanly today. So womanly." And I'm like, and again, I'm thinking like, what do I normally look like?
Yeah.
I always wear heels and I'm always in a dress, and hello, I am a female, but whatever. And he walks back behind the counter rather fast and says, "I have to get behind the counter." And I'm like, okay. He goes, "Because you're making me excited."
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Mm-mm.
And for me, I don't know how to react to this, so I'm like, huh. Because this whole scene just went down like really bad, and we're the only ones in this entire place, and he's told me all of this, and I'm like, well,
time for me to leave now.
I was like, well, and at the same time, I'm trying to think of a way to get out. Somebody comes in the door, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. So I run out almost out of this place, in my heels, out the door, into the parking lot, which is all gravel.
Of course.
And if you're running out in a gravel parking lot, in heels, in the rain, what's going to happen to you? Well,
more than likely slip.
Me, I don't slip. No, slip would be graceful. I go falling face down, knees on the gravel, hands on the gravel. Like, I mean, I hit it hard.
Oh, my God.
Hard.
So
and
it wasn't one of those graceful...
No, there was nothing graceful about it. It was more like, oh, damn.
Oh,
she's going down. Anyway, so I hit the ground really, really hard. And then my next thought was, he's going to come out here and try to help me.
Oh, no.
And, get up. Like, I jump up like a jack in the box, take my shoes off, run to my car barefoot in the rain. My knees are all, like, scraped up and bloody. I won't even... My elbows are all scraped up. I run to my car, I throw my shoes in my car, and I drive back to the office because I'm like, my day's done.
Yep. Done at that point.
Anyway, it's really funny now, but at the time I was like, I can never go back there again, obviously.
Yeah.
You know.
Except for, in a pantsuit, maybe.
Maybe overalls.
Overalls. Or shorts and flip-flops.
Or my basketball shorts I wear every weekend, something like that. T-shirt, basketball shorts, like flip-flops. But yeah, that was
something to where you don't look womanly.
Don't look womanly at all.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was, I'm like, wait, what? I don't even know what he was trying to say. I mean, I clearly know what he was trying to say when.
Well, I mean, that was obvious.
Well, it wasn't really obvious until it was obvious at a certain point.
I don't know how obvious it was. I really don't.
It was just terrible because, it was so bad. So I've never been back in there, and that was like 7 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awkward.
Okay, so that's some of my little stories of like trying to sell and meet new people.
That's always good.
Yeah.
What about your getting over your fear of heights?
Oh, you want to hear my fear of heights story? So I was telling Chris before we started this how I have all these irrational moments in my life, and my friend and I went ziplining in Vancouver a few years ago. At the time, it was so beautiful. I have to say, like, even though I cried a little bit, like, it was so beautiful. But it at the time was like the world's longest zip line, and it might still be. I don't know, but
between mountains.
Between mountains. Wow. So you start off slow. You start off between like a lake, and then you go between like a little patch of like snow. So, the lake, if you fall, you're good because it's water. And the snow, if you fall, hey, well, all I can see is snow. So I mentally think soft landing, or at least not as bad.
Right.
And then you go to like the third one, which is like the 2 mountains. And that's going to be a doozy. So I'm climbing up the ladder and I'm looking down and looking out, and it's not looking good. Like Dana's getting a little scared, and there's a few tears that may have been shed. And I'm looking back, and there's a bunch of like tourists down below watching everybody zip line. And I'm thinking that I want to go back, but walking back is a long, long way back.
Yeah, that walk of shame is very long usually.
Yeah, and in tears and and snow up to like my knees would have been a little hard to walk back. And I had really thought about it. Like I had really contemplated that walk back. And then I thought, no, I'm just going to do this. And so they were asking me which side I want, either right or left. And the left side is full of trees, and the right side is just mountains and like valleys and, nothing I can grab onto. So of course I'm going to go with the trees, because if something happens to my zip line, in my mind, I can reach out and try to grab a tree limb or...
And not get impaled. Not get impaled.
Not get impaled. I mean, there's something... I can leap forward to something.
Leap forward as you're flying through midair.
Yes, as I'm flying through... completely white-knuckling the bar the whole time. And... So my friend is beside me, and she's just like, she's doing like little letting go and doing this, and she's like head down, and I'm like, what are you doing? No, we're not doing it. You're making me scared. Like, stop. So the whole time she's like loving it, and I am like white knuckling it and so scared and still trying to guesstimate if I had to grab a tree limb. How would I do it?
How would you do it?
Yeah, the whole time.
What would you push yourself off of to get over there?
Yeah. So that's how.
Push yourself off of her.
I would be like kicking her out of the way. That would be what I'd have to do. Yeah. So same person. We went skiing together not long after that. Well, maybe a year or two later after that, we went skiing together. And on the ski lift, you have to jump down. Mm-hmm. So not Dana. She rode that.
Oh no!
I rode that baby.
How many times?
Multiple times, until I got the courage to push myself off.
It's not that far of a drop, though. Usually.
No, it's not. But it wasn't the drop. It was like me not being able to move fast enough before the next one comes up.
I've never been skiing.
If I can do it, literally anybody could do it. I would say no to snowboarding though, because it looked like it'd be easier.
I can't very well skateboard, so yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Well, I could ski, and I can ski like enough to like, hey, I can do it enough to get down. I can move, and I'm not, and it's not graceful. It's not graceful at all. But hey, at least I'm getting from point A to point B without too many falls. But the snowboarding, yeah, I couldn't even get past point A. It's bad. It's bad.
It happens.
Yes, but I highly recommend trying to do it though.
Yeah, I'd also like to. I'd like to try bungee jumping and parachuting, both of which I've never done, but I'd love to do it someday.
I know some people that do some parachuting, like the tandem jumps. So if you ever want to do it, I'll hook you up.
Well, now that I'm married, I may have to ask my wife.
See, I'm never gonna go. I will never do that.
No.
Ever. No. I can handle heights to a certain point, but being pushed out of an airplane, no. I'm at the age now where a heart attack could happen.
Oh yeah.
No, I feel like a heart attack would totally happen to me.
Well, after what happened to me last week, I may not be doing anything
like
that anytime soon, because it's scary.
Well, because what if you have a seizure and you pee your pants?
Very real possibility.
I'm just saying, like, it could happen. These are the thoughts that pop in my head. Like, what if this happened to me?
But what if it doesn't? What if you're fine?
Well, I did the zip lining. I did the skiing. I've done things like that. Like, yeah. I just do baby steps into it. I can't do, I know parachuting would not be for me. Skydiving would not be for me. But,
I love flying in planes. I love it.
I like being in the plane. I don't want to be...
You don't want to be over the ocean?
Okay,
Too far away.
I have no problem going over the ocean. Like that's fine. I don't mind flying.
You just don't like sleeping while you're.
I will not sleep on the plane. I'll get drunk on the plane.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be better to be drunk if it crashed or just be asleep.
Because if you're
crashed.
drunk, you're all loosey goosey.
Maybe you'll live. True. Maybe you'll live.
See, these
Probably
are the.
not.
But either way, these are the thoughts. I'm like, okay, I'll have a few drinks. I'll be fine. I won't sleep, but I'll be loose. Yeah.
Well.
And I don't want you talking to me either on the plane. So if you're sitting beside me.
Really?
Oh, God, no. I bring my books. I bring magazines. And I want no conversation.
Wow.
Yeah.
The longest flight I ever been on was from Amsterdam to LA. 13 hour. Yeah, 13-hour flight. And the best part about it, now this is way before I got married, way before I even knew my wife, but was I sat next to a young lady that we just conversed the whole time. It was great. It was a good time. I've never seen her again, but...
Well, that's cool. See, I just don't... If it's my friend, yeah, because my friend and I travel together a lot, I'm totally fine with that.
Right.
If it's a random stranger, and ironically, I'm like, nah, it's all right.
I'm not too good at meeting new people, but sometimes you meet those people that are just easy to talk to, and you can just talk to them forever, you know? And like the whole flight, 13 hours, we just talked.
See, I wouldn't know, because the minute I sit down...
You start the drink.
I'm drinking, magazines out, I got the block up, I'm like, magazines open.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I think I give off that vibe, like, don't speak.
Don't speak.
Which is weird, because I feel like... What's that?
Is it the witch hair?
It's the witch hair, probably. I know. And I mentioned the cat, and I throw out some, like...
I don't know where they get that from.
I know.
We're getting close to time, so I figure...
Wow, this really flew by.
It really did. It was a good time. We had a really good time, I think. Let us know what you guys think. And Roger should be with us next week. Scan that QR code.
Or as Roger says, the Scantron.
The Scantron, yes. It'll take you to our website, and you'll be able to go to all the socials from there, see what we're up to.
Don't forget Shadow Fox Designs.
Yes, Shadow Fox Design. And that's really about it, guys. Until next week.
Thanks for joining us. It's fun.
Definitely. Circle back to it.
Circle back.